This episode of Riffs on Riffs is brought to you by DistroKid.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Gift magical mornings with Nespresso Virtuo Pop. Compact and stylish, Virtuo Pop is made to meet every morning coffee craving. From espresso to coffee, hot or iced, at the click of a button. And celebrate the season with Nespresso's limited edition coffee flavors. Sweet almond and hibiscus, cinnamon and candied tamarind, and festive double espresso. Magic in the making. Shop the holiday gift collection exclusively at Nespresso.com.
Hello and welcome to Riffs on Riffs. Toby, I had a couple of thoughts about our artist today.
Did you?
I did. One, I thought, man, this dude's name is the perfect name for the song that he had a hit with. But then I also thought, man, this guy is the king of stealth marketing. And do you remember in middle school when the teacher would be up there or would ask a question and then somebody would answer and then people would do that like mutter cough, you know, they'd be like, loser, or something like that. Right?
Right.
I feel like this dude has upped the ante on that because the name is just like people always say your sneeze is achoo. I don't know where that came from. Nobody sounds like achoo. You know what it sounds like, Toe?
What does it sound like?
Right? Like that's so like every time I hear somebody sneeze, I'm thinking of this cat.
Is that right?
And so I think that's brilliant. Like, well done, buddy. Like everybody's gonna know your name.
Do you feel that way, especially when people sneeze at bars? That's my question.
Only if I'm a little tipsy.
Okay. All right. Well, for those that don't know, if you haven't picked up on the context clues, the song that we are riffing about today is entitled A Bar Song by the artist Shaboozey. I'm assuming I'm saying the name right? Shaboozey, is that right?
Shaboozey. Yeah. So his real name, I'm not going to butcher this, Colin Sobina, his actual last name is Shaboozey. And so that's why apparently everybody else mispronounced it. He's like, you know what, we'll just make it easy. It's Shaboozey. And just kind of respelled it. But made sure to put booze right there smack dab in the middle.
Oh, it's in there. It's in there. If this was this was like his first or debut song, I'd be like, wow. I mean, that's damn near intentional.
Well done.
Right? But he's been an artist for a little bit, man. He's been in the game for a while. I was actually impressed by that. I did not know that at all before we started doing research. I was like, oh, this dude has paid his dues, so to speak, sharpened his craft, did what he had to do, and has a hit song. And not only that, this dude was on Cowboy Carter, right? Cowboy Carter.
Twice.
Yeah, and on the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack
Which
as well.
Which is a phenomenal soundtrack.
So dude's put in work. With all that being said, though, Joe, I'm very curious because I think I know you. Do you like the song, Joe? That's my question. Do you like it?
For me, the song it's just okay. I don't dislike the song. It doesn't move me in any way. David Guetta just remixed it. So once you hit that level, you know, like, oh, this is one of those songs that people play at a bar or they play at an event. So it has that very prototypical, it's just a drinking song, I guess, with a chorus that you can, you know, sing along to and everybody can raise a glass and feel good about. So, I mean, it's clearly moving people. It's, you know, number one, has been for a few weeks, knocked Beyonce off the chart. So, yeah, it's okay. It's like, all right, it's a song. You? And how do you feel?
So mixed feelings. So, you know, I guess we'll land at it's okay, right? It's cool. I will say this is that the song chorus is, since it interpolates J-Kwon's song called Tipsy from back in the day, that raised my eyebrows like, oh, yo. And so I actually had to listen to the song closer. It's like, is this just one of those songs where they just take a rap song and they make it into a country song or a folk song and just do that? Kind of like how, you know, folks have done like Gin and Juice and all these other Snoop songs and what have you. But to know that he actually, the verses are his own. It's just the chorus, again, a little bit of an interpolation. I like that. I thought that was I thought it was smart. I thought it was a smart thing to do because obviously it became pretty popular, very popular. And I guess listening to his other tracks, his other songs, I mean, I do appreciate him. It's not his best song, not by far.
It's not the best song on the album, I don't think.
No.
I think Highway's a better song. I think Drink Don't Need No Mix. I think that'll probably be the next single.
I like that.
That's a good track.
That's a good track. Last of My Kind is kind of my jam. I do enjoy that.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. He's got a voice, man. He's got a decent voice. Like country trap is definitely the perfect mix combination for him and for what he is doing, I would say, for this music.
So I wrote down 3 artists that I thought he's combining, and ironically, I wouldn't think none of them are actually country, but Lil Nas X, Fleetwood Mac, and T-Pain. Like he's just kind of got some stew going on there. And I know he's hearkening back to a lot of those old school country roots, but to me, it's more singer-songwriter vibes. I hate that he uses auto-tune on every track, because when he does sing, I'm like, that's nice. He does have a good voice. And just to constantly be using that effect just grows really tiresome. And it's not overdone, but it's done enough to where it's noticeable. And I'm just like, man, can you just sing the tracks? At least balance it out with, hey, there's a spot for using this effect. There's a spot for my voice to shine, that kind of stuff. That's just personal preference. Clearly, people are digging it. So,
oh yeah, that's not going to change anytime soon. I can tell you that right now. I mean, just with the producers that this guy works with. I mean, Metro Boomin is the producer from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse album, and he's worked with cats like Future and whatnot. And I think so. Although this dude is different, just that whole vein of trap anything is going to use those effects. I mean, it's just one of the givens I feel for a lot of this music. It's just the way that it is. I mean, it's just, that's just one of the caveats I think that's going to be aligned very closely with this type of music. And because of that, I've told people plenty of times, I do not like trap. I'm not a trap guy. I don't like it. And so it's just one of those things that kind of goes along with it. I can appreciate a song or two from it, but, in general, it's just not my thing. But I thought this song is definitely a bar song. I think there's always time for a new good bar song. I'm always down for that. Yeah. And I think that's cool. You can go to a bar, because I can even see this song being played, kind of crazy, but I can see this song being played at a piano bar, honestly, because I think they'd be able to kill it, so I think that's cool. I think he's got a, decent enough voice. Granted, he's got the auto-tune going on, but.
So did you go back? I actually, went all the way back to his first single, Jeff Gordon, in 2014. So this dude's been around for a decade. Very, very different style. That's full on trap. Mm-hmm. I just wondered where, because, around 2018, he comes out with that Lady Wrangler album. And it starts to, it's still, to me, a very hip hop album. And so I'm just wondering, it seems like this is, I guess he did Cowboys Live Forever and Outlaws Never Die in 22, which was thematically leaning heavily into those, cowboy outlaw country themes, but still not, like this album right here is, there's a lot of acoustic stuff. There's a lot of traditional country kind of almost standard vibe to it. And I'm like, I wonder what happened where he just took a pretty sharp right turn, still incorporating his influences in his earlier stuff, but they're very different in how he started his career.
Well, he's 29 as of the recording of this. He's 29 years old. And when you're talking about, basically 10 years ago when he first got started or first was noticed, it's a big change from 19 to 29.
That's a big change.
You do slow down quite a bit. And, I think it's also crowd reaction. He's probably, seen perform certain songs, and it seemed like, I think this might be the lane or the vein for me to kind of get and do what I got to do. And for Beyonce's album to come out when it did, and to be asked to do not one but two songs on it, right? And then that leading to, songs, he did a song with, I want to say her name, is it Noah Cyrus, on the song called My Fault?
Yeah, yep.
Which is a good song, I think they did a good enough job on that. I think they did a nice job on that. I think he just found the vein. I'm not sure, I don't know him well enough. I haven't heard enough interviews or whatnot to know if this has been his heart desire to actually do this, and the trap was just me being young and now I really want to do this, or if it's the reverse. Like, I really want to do that other stuff, but here I am. I think artists are allowed to evolve. And we've seen it
for sure.
So many different cases, right? Justin Timberlake, even Post Malone started off countries doing now what he does. And that's who I compare this dude with a lot. I compare him to Post Malone a lot. I think he can speak in both languages. He can go this folk country trap, or he can go full trap if he wanted to. I think the producers that he uses, I think it's going to be very interesting. I would love to see him and Post Malone do a song together, because I think that would be kind of cool.
Well, I think some of it is just baked into his grown up history, right? So he grew up in Virginia. His dad is Nigerian, and he said his dad would listen to a lot of traditional Nigerian music, but he would also listen to a lot of country, Willie and a lot of those cats. And so kind of growing up in that environment, being surrounded by that music. And, I thought one of the great things he said in one of his interviews is, and you and I have talked about genres and how they can be useful, how they can be divisive, how they're problematic, but people need the labels for whatever reason. And, he referred to himself kind of as a black sheep and said, people aren't comfortable with change. But his quote is, "There's conversations and divides that are created that I feel like music transcends that stuff. And it's always love and empathy for me." And specifically around this idea of, looking to connect the bridge and showing people that the concepts are the same in hip hop and they're the same in country western. And, we talk about it, I think, fairly regularly on the show. People are fully formed humans, and we don't come from one place. We don't have one experience. We don't have one influence. And sometimes all of those things are so diverse. It's really awesome when we can combine those and then use that to create something. And maybe it's a new art form. Maybe it's dipping your toe into a genre that, you're familiar with but haven't explored before. And I think it's great that he's doing it. Obviously, Beyonce kind of kicked the door back open from artists that have done it previously. And I'm hoping we're going to just see a lot more of it.
I think one of the things you said there, I thought that was just super important, is that, we are, no matter where we're coming from, no matter what is our perspective, we're all humans, right? So when it all comes down to it, maybe we're sharing similar scenarios, similar stories, just in different places. Listening to the song titles or some of the themes that this guy has talked about in the past, right? We talk about some of the old country, we talk about maybe an outlaw or, that kind of thing. Man, it's just me and my gun and my dog, or whatever the case may be, right? And it's like
a dirty truck.
Right,
yeah.
right. These outlaws are all together and da-da-da. And it's so interesting just watching shows now that talk about cowboy like lore. If you've paid attention to TV nowadays, what's the show with Kevin Costner? Was it Yellowstone? Right. So you have that, and there's a couple other ones that are very similar themes. It's man against nature, man against we got to protect this place. This is it. We're out here. We don't have any help. We are it. And differently, but still similarly, you have the other story experience with stories about gangsters, shows about gangsters like Snowfall, movies about gangsters like Scarface and all that. It's like, wow, two different situations. But I find that people like one, they generally like the other. So with music, cowboy stuff with country music, but then also with hip hop and being, gangsters, if you will, or regulators, it absolutely uses that, right?
What?
So it's funny.
Has the sort of gangster lifestyle of, the hip hop back in the early days and evolving till now, is that kind of the new, is that the Wild West? Only it's East and West Coast or whatever, people are getting in beefs about now. I don't know. But
yeah, I think
it's just a different kind of lore.
Yeah.
Because people dig into the lore. Like, what really happened to Biggie? What really happened to Tupac? Like, It's the same kind of storytelling that we think about when we think about Wild Bill Hickok and, whatever else.
Well, you look at all those movies about those cowboys and those gangsters and whether they robbed banks or whatever the case, whatever they were doing, they did it for a reason. I mean, some of them like the thrill of it, but they had reasons. And as the story goes on, you find out what their reason is, to the point where you're actually hoping that they get away with it, right? I mean, they're breaking the law in a lot of cases, but you're hoping to get away with it. Well, hip hop, gangster hip hop does the exact same thing. You're finding out about that dude, this cat. You begin to like him. You understand it's like, man, can't we just let him get away with it? I mean, I know he's selling drugs, but I mean, he ain't hurt nobody outside of the entire community.
You're right. Outside of everybody.
But tomato, what are we talking about? So, but they humanize it. And I think but there have been plenty of country songs that do the exact same thing. They take you into the mind of this cowboy, this gangster, this whatever. This dude is, he did some bad things, but it's complicated, right? That's what they would say. It's complicated, You
go onto the YouTubes and you watch the videos, and it's both heartening and a little disheartening when I go to the comment section, because almost all of the top comments are somewhat related to race. And whether it's, I'm an old white dude who just discovered this and I really like this song. Awesome. There's just a constant acknowledgement of, this cat's black and he's doing country music, and somehow we have to talk about that. And I know we're going to have to talk about that for a long time, and we probably should acknowledge it and talk about it, but it's also... It's so on the nose for just the history of racism in this country, and specifically, I think, when it comes to kind of the old, probably all music, but country music. It's all embedded in there, and so it's going to take a while, I think, for us to unpack that. Kind of bums me out, I guess.
I want to see more of everyone do all sorts of music, right? I think if you got it, you got it. If you got the goods, I want to hear the goods, right? So I don't care if. We shouldn't care what this person looks like, male, female, whether they're sexy or not sexy, whether they're attractive or not attractive, whatever their skin color may be. If the music is good, let it play. If they have something different to say, then let them say it. And when we see that, because there's so few examples of it, or not as many examples of it, but hopefully there'll be more and more examples as time goes on. But when we hear something different, like a Lil Nas X, or Shaboozey on this type of track, or some of the other artists, out here, Eminem, for example, or whatever, Hall & Oates doing, the Blue-Eyed Soul.
Blue-Eyed Soul, right? Yeah.
Right. So when that happens, there's going to be a lot of attention, both, good and bad is going to be made of it. But Hall & Oates didn't break the music genre. I mean, they added to it. Lil Nas X didn't break country music. He added on to it. And because of that, now we have more artists that are like, man, I want to do that. Let's think of that. And if it's in you, then do it. We don't really care. We shouldn't care about anything else.
This episode of Riffs on Riffs is brought to you by DistroKid, your ultimate partner for taking your music to the next level.
With DistroKid, uploading your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music is easier than ever. Plus, you can easily pay your collaborators with splits and send large files securely to anyone with Instant Share.
And guess what else? You can get a YouTube official artist channel for free via DistroKid. You can send credits to stores, and you can use Hyperfollow to promote your release.
DistroKid has everything you need to succeed in the digital music landscape.
But that's not all. DistroKid now offers a convenient mobile experience with the DistroKid app, available on iOS and Android.
With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for the artists looking to perfect their sound, there's Mixia. With Mixia, you can put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time.
And if you need to share large files securely with collaborators, producers, or playlist curators, look no further than Instant Share. It's free to send up to 1 gigabyte of files, and your music will stream at the highest quality, making the best impression possible.
So why wait? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities.
Riffs on Riffs listeners get 30% off their first year at DistroKid by going to distrokid.com/VIP/riffsonriffs.
The holidays are in full swing, and Abercrombie Kids has everything on their wish list. Check it all off during their Get Gifting sale. Start with festive outfits like sweaters and dresses for holiday parties. Then finish up with cozy sweatshirts and sweatpants made to mix and match all winter and beyond. Get gifting with Abercrombie Kids in the app, online, and in stores. This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Another question. This is what I think, this is another smart marketing ploy, is so he comes out in 2014 with Jeff Gordon. So
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon's a race car driver. He's not an artist. So I'm not going to Spotify and searching Jeff Gordon.
Right.
But then he comes out with another single called Joan Jett. And I'm like, oh, that's smart. So I'm wondering, like, should we just start making songs with other people's names so that our song comes up in the... I think it's just a brilliant marketing play. Because I listened to Joan Jett and I'm like, why is this song called Joan Jett? That's interesting.
I do think it's a smart move to use song titles or use, put an actor's or actress's name in as a song title. I do think it's a smart move. It is immediate. They're going to recognize it immediately, and automatically you've got people who are going to feel one way or another about that actor or actress, right? Automatically, right off the rip. And if the song is good, then you're great.
Well, didn't Fall Out Boy do
Uma Thurman?
Is that who did that track?
Yep. And there's other examples too, but that's the one that comes to mind like right now. Like, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I love it.
That leads me into my next question, Toby, because Shaboozey was on that Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack with Start a Riot with Duckworth. I'm very, very specific on this question. Not the best movie soundtrack ever, but the best movie soundtrack for the movie itself. Because I thought that Into the Spider-Verse actually is one of, I would put, pretty high on the list because it's a great soundtrack and it supports the visuals of, that's just it's such a great movie in all the ways, but the soundtrack is one of them. So can you think of another example?
I'm glad that you asked me this question early so that I could do some thinking on it, right? So I could do some thinking on, because I came up, I'm going to mention my honorable mentions first. Okay. And then I'm going to mention those first, and then I'm going to give you my true answer. But I feel like we have to quantify or qualify what makes a good soundtrack. Okay. To me, we have to qualify that. And it's just in my mind. I think it's got to have a couple of things. Is one, I feel like it's got to be a good movie. I don't think anybody's going to care about how good the music is if the movie is bad. If the movie's bad, I'm not even going to get to the soundtrack. That's just not going to happen. So that's number one, because I think a good soundtrack will use the movie as source material to base said songs off of. It can't be a random song. It can't be, it's got to relay somehow, connect to the movie. And I think that the subject matter is important. That's number one for me. I also think it's all got to be quality original songs that relate to the movie. I already said that. And then also a mix of known and unknown talent.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah.
And then excellent producers doing their things and pushing their artists to do something potentially different than what they normally do. I think that soundtracks is a great excuse for an artist to try something that they normally don't do, to actually just push it. But it's just for this movie, it's for, freaking Miles Morales, or he's not a normal dude.
He's not.
Would you do it for Miles? Come on. This is for Miles. It's not for you. It's for Miles. Okay. So that's how I feel about that. Okay. With all that being said, I told you I was going to give you some movies that were honorable mention. Drive, the movie called Drive, that starred Ryan Gosling. If you haven't watched Drive, you should run to your Netflix and watch Drive. I think it is a cult classic and it is wonderful. All right. It is wonderful. It's a different type movie. It's definitely a cult classic type film. But trust me, the music absolutely fits in with it. It's kind of retro, like electric, synthesizer-y. It's very, very different. But this is a movie that I watched the movie and I kept finding myself nodding my head as I'm watching the movie, like, what is that song right there? What is that song?
Nice.
And they had a couple of those tracks, right? A couple of them. And I realized at the end, after I went back on Spotify, found the sound, I'm like, I am far from the only person that appreciates this soundtrack. There's a lot of people that do. Okay, so Drive, that's one. Another one that I will say, a little offbeat, all right, is the soundtrack for the movie called Sing. I think that was well done. I think it was well done. And there was it was like, this is a different type. It's a song that I've heard before, but I wanted to hear it with these people singing it. And I didn't know I wanted to hear that until I heard it. And now I'm like, that's fantastic. So you have that. But now it's time for me to give you my winner.
I'm ready.
You ready? Number one soundtrack in my mind has got to be Boomerang, movie with Eddie Murphy. Fan-frickin-tastic. Listen, this movie, it had everything. Everything. There has not been another movie since Friday that really had as many memorable quote lines in the movie. Before Friday, it was Boomerang. It had everything. So we talk about, what does it have? The movie had memorable lines, talking John Witherspoon, a young Chris Rock, all cracking jokes. I mean, come on. And Eddie Murphy.
And funny Eddie Murphy.
You also had beautiful people in it, right? You had Halle Berry, Robin Givens, to name a few. But when it came to the music, that's what we're specifically talking about. Hey, this soundtrack was so good. It was number 4 on the Billboard Top 200. This movie went triple platinum by 1995. That's because they not only had PM Dawn on there. You had Keith Washington, Toni Braxton, Johnny Gill, and A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, this is like, I literally popped. Because this wasn't, I'm like, it has everyone who I wanted to hear on it. I mean, it's literally got all the emotions before the club, in the club, and after the club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot. It's
a whole evening right there.
Right.
It's just ready for you.
And End of the Road by Boyz II Men, which just basically just put this in the stratosphere. Between that and I Die Without You with PM Dawn, I mean, dude, what are we talking about? So to me, this is hands down, it's got to be, and unless you've got an emotional relationship with the movie Frozen, or unless you are, or Moana, or something like that, or Hamilton for that matter, right? I feel like it's easy. It's easy. But that's my choice.
Yeah, I can't argue with any of that. But allow me to give my own thoughts,
please.
If that's okay. Wrong as they may be, clearly. I actually would disagree. Well, I can't disagree because I haven't seen the movies. 2 of my favorite soundtracks, which I assume support the movie, although I have no idea, because I would say Judgment Night, great soundtrack.
Yeah.
I've heard the movie is terrible, so I've never watched the movie, so I can't say that the soundtrack actually supports the movie. I don't even know if there's soundtracks in the movie. The other one is the soundtrack for The Crow, which I think is just dark and gritty, and it has, as to your point, a lot of bands that you would know and some that you might not. I mean, it's got The Cure, Nine Inch Nails. I'm trying to think Rollins Band is on there. Machines of Loving Grace has got a great track. Pantera's on there, so it's just an odd mix.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's take it there.
But I think, if you're going mainstream, I think a movie that incorporates the soundtrack amazingly well is The Guardians of the Galaxies. I mean, it's kind of a through line through the films. So, and they're great songs.
Wow.
Right?
That's good. That is good.
And then the last one I would say, which to me really, that's the soundtrack just took off back in the day and it kind of exposed new artists and hit old standards, was Pulp Fiction. Everybody started listening to Dusty Springfield again. Everybody discovered that Neil Diamond did a song, Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon, because Urge Overkill redid it. So if we set aside the problematic thematic elements of that song, it's a good song. I don't think we can set aside those elements. I'm just saying. But I think, as much as weird as Tarantino is, he does have a unique ability to kind of tie a vibe from the soundtrack and incorporate it directly into the scenes in ways that are just so memorable and become a visceral. Some of it's, played for to kind of lighten some of the really disturbing things that he does. But yeah, so I would say, that's probably up there too. It's no Boomerang. I'm going to give you that. But those are just a couple.
No, that Guardians of the Galaxy was great. My only issue with Guardians of the Galaxy is this, as far as using that, right? All those songs were hits. All those songs were basically hits before. So it felt like a fantastically curated playlist to me. I thought the placement was fantastic. Now, I will say that I give more props to somebody that just like starts from scratch with songs that haven't been used on any other product or any other release, and they do it. That's my only real criticism. Outside of that, I think you're spot on. I forgot about Judgment Night. I haven't seen the movie. I have heard parts of the soundtrack. I agree with you. I have to watch the movie. I mean, that's what it's going to lead to. I think we both got to watch the movie.
Yeah. But I've heard it's real bad, Tobe. But yeah, we probably should someday.
Wouldn't be the only bad movie I've seen.
I mean, it's got Dennis Leary as a bad guy, so it's got to have something.
That's interesting. Good stuff. That was a really good question.
Did you say that Finally Over was one of your favorite tracks from Shaboozey's album?
Not Finally Over.
Or was I thinking of something else?
Yeah, I was okay. There was another track that he did that I enjoyed, which is Last of My Kind.
Oh, that's right.
And the song he did with Noah Cyrus, which is called My Fault. Those are the ones I liked, yeah.
When I listened to Finally Over, I was like, I'm not really sure, because I feel like this song can go one of two ways. Like, is this a, hey, I'm done with all of this, I don't have it in me anymore? It almost seemed like it could be really dark, but I read an interview with him, and it's actually the opposite, which I really loved. Is maybe it's getting to that, age 29 or whatever it is, you've had that 10-year career. He's like, look, if this is it, like if this is, my shot at stardom, and then it just kind of I don't feel like, I think even in the lyric, he says something about kind of selling his soul for another viral hit or something. He's like, if this goes away, I'm good. Like, I'm at peace with living, essentially. Like, if I go back to Virginia or wherever it is, and I've got my house and my world around me and just doing the day-to-day living part, like, that's good. And I'm fine with that. And I think that's a beautiful thing to hear from an artist, to know that I'm not going to keep chasing something that doesn't feel good to me. I'm okay doing what I did, staying true to myself, and letting the cards fall where they need to after that.
I like that sentiment, but I also will say that easy to say when you're on Spotify with 27.6 million listeners. If this is it, yeah,
right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, if you can't somehow get to
you're done good.
Right, you can't get to 28 million listeners,
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I think you're going to be all right. I think you're going to be okay. So, but still, I mean, goodness, you compare him with, he's got one hit or several hits, but he's got this breakout hit. And maybe now he's got more pressure to kind of do even more. If he can find that peace, so he's not constantly chasing, just be in the moment, man. Just be where you're at. And I think that being in the game for 10 years, and I mean, he's had good songs, obviously, before this, but to really have a breakout hit like he has this year, it's like he knows how to survive off less. And now he's surviving off more. And to me, it's a good thing. You learn some lessons, and hopefully he's just making the music that he wants to make. That's my hope, that he's making the music he wants to make. And if this was it, dude, do it. I mean, obviously, he appreciates hip hop. And to me, it was like a nod to hip hop, like using the J-Kwon. I was like, man, that's smart. That's smart. Just you get a cat like me paying attention when I might not have paid attention normally. So I started hearing, I was like, what is this? Then I hear the chorus, it's like, yo, that's J-Kwon. Okay, I see you, dude. I see you. Keep going. Let me hear it. In fact, rewind it. Start it over. Let's say it from the top. So I like that.
Well, I don't think he's going anywhere because he's up for a Grammy with Beyonce and Linda Martell for Spaghetti. He's up for a Grammy for a bar song. And this is what kills me, Toby. He's up for a Grammy in 2025 as Best New Artist. This dude's been around for a decade. How is he a new artist? Please explain this to me. How does this work? Do you work for the Academy, Toby?
No, I do not. But as you know, we do have aspirations to host that show.
To host, yes.
But I liken this phenomenon, which you just described, as the red shirt freshman. Right? I think that's
okay. I got you.
Liken it to the red shirt freshman. So until the viral hit hits, you are in college, right? You've been redshirted. But when
they're on the bench, just waiting for your turn.
Waiting for that one viral moment. Like, dude. So any moment now, he'll be on YouTube putting a hat on, talking about which school, which team he's going to be playing for. In the NBA. So he's been redshirted. That's kind of what I look at it. Yeah, I mean it's ludicrous, but at the same time, it is what it is. Yeah, you got to throw your bows.
It's like you're a new artist when somebody actually knows who you are, I guess. All that other stuff doesn't matter.
No, not apparently not. Apparently not. So, but yeah, that is that. So I'm interested to see what this dude does in the future. I'm very curious to see. I mean, this project is this project. I'm interested really into his next project. And if there are any other artists that can come up under him, what kind of chances will he take with this? Because I think he's got, if you like country music, it means you like songs about stories, right? Songs about, pain and this, that. And he's got a good voice. With or without the auto-tune, he's got a good voice. A voice that's good enough to actually tell the story. So I'm very curious to see what kind of stories he's going to tell going forward, and if he's going to use these connections that he's made to collaborate with other artists that can also tell good stories. I mean, wouldn't it be crazy but awesome at the same time to have him tell a story in this trap country style and have one of the best storytellers of all time in hip hop, Slick Rick, come and partner with him. I mean, and then to have, the person who I feel like can really produce a track like that, and that would be like Pharrell, do it, because I think Pharrell absolutely could do whatever you needed on the track. So, yeah.
Well, I think he's back when he started. When he came out with that Jeff Gordon single, he also started a production company. So he's very interested in the visual arts as well. I think he directs all his own videos, and they're beautifully shot. I think some of them are kind of, hey, I'm just going to have video of you in various scenery, doing the song, which is fine. I think Highway starts to get a little more interesting. I'm guessing he's going to lean into some of that visual arts a little bit more. And he's like, I originally wanted to be an author. I was a writer because I love a good story. And so now he's found the medium to tell good stories to mass audiences. And I think that is just going to continue to grow.
Well, that just brings up a whole host of other questions, because to me, good storytellers, people that love good stories, they start off, here where we're at right now, potentially, right? And then they realize, man, a song is only so many minutes. An album is only so many minutes. I want to take it to a TV series, or I want to take it to a short movie or a full movie. So here's my hot take. My hot take is that he does a story album, right? Concept album, story album, 12 tracks long. Story about an outlaw or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Coming out in 2026. Mark my words. That's it. It's my take.
Boom.
There it is. That's it. That's my hot take.
With that, I think we got to end the show on a hot take, Toe. So that's it. We're done here. I'm gonna go find a bar and get tipsy.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
Lin-Miranda Manuel, he's gonna do the musical for it. So there we have it.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe he'll reach out to the Silver Foxes to do a little writing for it. I think.
Let's go.
That'd be a
Let's
smart
go,
call.
and history can just write the rest. See what I'm saying? Look at that. Look at that.
All right. And with all of that, we want to thank you for listening.
Yes, sir.
We would definitely appreciate if you gave us the reviews on whatever platform you're listening on, because it helps other people discover it, and also do all the social things. Toby, where do they find the socials?
You can find us on Instagram at Riffs on Riffs. That's what we are, Riffs on Riffs. Or you can just find us online at riffsonriffs.com. So either way works.
Awesome. In the meantime, go find yourselves a good bar. I leave it to you if you feel inspired to get tipsy or not. We are not encouraging such things, but we also, are okay with such things. So until next time, thank you for listening. Hit them with the dismount toe.
Keep listening. Thanks so much, and huzzah.